What's up, Tigers? My name is Jane Stewart. I'm your host for this week's episode of the Tiger Sports Report podcast. I'm joined alongside my co-host, Noah Manis. How are you doing today, Noah?
I'm doing good, Jayden. How are you?
That's good. I'm doing good. We're also joined alongside Daniel and Kimberly. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing all right.
I'm doing good.
That's good. As December has now came upon us, the new college football playoff, I'm so excited for this. All we have left is the bowl games now. And there is a whole lot to talk about considering pretenders, contenders, who actually has a shot, not Penn State. But, Kimberly, we're going to start off with you. Who do you think are pretenders?
This is a very rough take, but I'm thinking Oregon is probably a pretender. Say they get to, like, the national championship. I don't think they're going to win it.
If they get to the national championship,
How are they pretenders?
Does that mean they are pretenders, Kimberly?
But they'll be pretenders in the national championship.
That does not matter.
Yes, it does. That's what we're talking about.
Dylan Gabriel carried the Oklahoma program, and he'll carry Oregon.
All I'm saying, Kimberly, is if they make it to the national championship, they're not pretenders.
Yeah.
But if they were first-round exits, then yes.
Or even second round exits.
Okay, let me re-speak my words because I'm getting a lot of hate here. I think they're pretenders no matter what. I was just saying if they get to the national championship. I'm not saying they will, but I'm saying if they do, they're not going to win. They're going to get blown out by 50.
Is Gabriel the main reason?
That's
just
a hot
don't
take.
think
Yeah,
he's
that's a
clutch
very
enough?
hot take.
No, it's
Very
not.
hot
Seeing Oregon in the past and the way they do under pressure,
That's a way different team here. Way different
doesn't
quarterback.
matter.
I don't
Same
know.
Almost lost
program.
to
I respect it.
Once a
but-
choker, always a choker.
They almost lost to Wisconsin for crying out loud.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't think that you can really base off a team of their past performances when they have new pretty much everything.
Yeah, because they took down Ohio State and up until they choked against Michigan for the fourth straight year.
But
That was a very good win.
Yeah.
No, you can't really take that into account because there's rivalries and
Yeah,
stuff.
it
and
was a huge rival.
It's rivalry games. In rivalry games, your ranking doesn't really matter all that much.
Yeah.
Just like divisions in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything can happen.
2-9 team in the NFL could win against 13-1 team.
Yeah.
Like it just happens.
Okay, Daniel, what do you think?
I think Clemson is an obvious pretender.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
look at them. They have 3 losses. They've played close games that they shouldn't have. They got blown out by Georgia at the beginning of the year. And they also lost a couple other games like SC, who's a 9-3 SEC school that might not even have a chance to make the playoff.
Yeah, they're a much more dangerous team than Clemson
Absolutely.
Yeah,
ever was
Clemson
this
hasn't been
year.
good since like Trevor Lawrence left. They've just not been good since.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I think Boise State is one of the more obvious pretenders here.
Yeah.
They played good against Oregon, but they lost that game, right?
Like 3.
Yeah, which was obviously a good performance, but when you look at their other, opponents, they're easy opponents that you would say with how Boise's been doing that they should beat. When they play against bigger teams that are going to be in there like Texas and obviously Oregon again, they're just not going to move on.
Yeah.
And Ashton John T cannot save them.
True.
Yeah.
Because they even struggled against UNLV. I mean,
Yeah.
I could see him
And they're playing
upsetting
UNLV
someone, but
again. It's
Oh,
tough to
yeah,
beat
in
a
the
good team
championship.
twice.
Mhm.
This is really tough to beat a good team twice.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
But I really think almost everyone's pretenders outside of Oregon. I think Notre Dame, Georgia, Penn State, Ohio State, this year in college football has been wild, to say the least.
Very
Absolutely.
Which
inconsistent.
is why it's a perfect year for the 12-team playoff, because I don't know how the heck you decide who the top 4 teams are outside conference winners.
Yeah.
But just because Penn State, like we've all seen, they can't win big games. They never beat Ohio State. They can hardly ever beat Michigan. James Franklin just can't get it done. Notre Dame, same way. They can't really win big games. Is Riley Leonard going to take you to a championship? No. Georgia, they've had very bad losses throughout the year.
Also, Alabama. Alabama's such a pretender.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
The SEC's really mid this year, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest. Texas
We
is
just
the only
beat each
team that
other up.
really looks like they're actually have a chance.
I just think there's a lot more competition with like just the recruiting. I feel like the
Yeah.
recruiting was just a lot better this year for the overall college.
Yeah,
so-
because even Vandy, South Carolina, these teams that used to not be good did very good this year.
yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I agree with that Georgia take because they've been horrible as of late, like against Ole Miss, against Tennessee, and they almost lost again to Georgia Tech in the 8 overtime game. That was absolutely insane.
Yeah, people say it should have been win to overtime, but we know how refs can be. And
Yeah.
But Noah, now we're going to talk about who do you think the contenders are and has a shot to win the national championship?
I feel like Ohio could definitely get there. Forever, how much you guys are hating on them. I mean, it's Ohio, and they always somehow make it up into the top 4.
But do they get anywhere else?
Could they get to the national championship? Maybe.
Under Ryan Day.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to put like anyone besides Oregon in a contender spot, just because of how Jayden said it's just an inconsistent year. There's a lot more competition, but Ohio State again, always somewhat kind of reliable. Not so much this year, but they could definitely make it up into maybe the national championship game.
Another one I'm thinking is Texas. That's so obvious. They've got the motivation. They've got the talent. They've got the confidence. They're just having a really, really good year. And I think it'll be hard to beat them. And if you do, then
Hats off to you.
Yeah, that's good to you. Good. Like, I just think it'll be really, really hard to beat them. And
Yeah.
I think, I hate to say it, but I think they'll make it to the national championship. Will they win it? I don't know. But I think it'll be really hard to beat them.
I really do feel like they're about to wall up Georgia in the SEC championship.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Georgia beat them 30-15 last time they played.
Which is why also I think they're just out for blood now, and it's
Yeah. Like I said before, it's hard to beat a good team twice. So,
exactly.
I'd say this game could go either way, but I'd say Texas has a better shot at winning the SEC championship game than Georgia does.
Yeah, Texas, I mean, if they just force Carson back to throw interceptions, I mean, you easily got it. And it really comes down to Quinn Ewers. But if Quinn Ewers can play good football and also Gabriel, I don't see how they're not going to make the national championship.
Yeah.
And I don't think this team's going to make it like that far, but I could see Arizona State. They've been playing very good football lately. I could definitely see them possibly upsetting someone like Georgia, possibly winning the first 2 rounds maybe. I see the faces, but Arizona State, their offense is very good. And when a team like them has won I don't know how many straight compared to Georgia playing very bad football
Yeah,
lately.
but we said the same thing for Indiana as well. And then
It's
Indiana's
Georgia. It's Georgia. You put Georgia and Arizona right next to you. Georgia's all the way up here. Arizona's all the way down here.
You just sound like all the ESPN analysts all over the SEC. They're so great. No, they're not.
I'm not
They're
saying
not
I'm
good
not
this
saying
year.
Georgia's great. I'm just saying Georgia's better than Arizona State because they are.
I could see Indiana or Arizona
Arizona's-
State being a team
Arizona-
like Georgia.
Arizona State is not a name you mention when you're talking about good football teams. You don't.
Which
just
is
say,
exactly
"Oh, I
why
think-"
Georgia can look over them. And if Beck plays bad, anyone, I feel like anyone in the playoff field can beat Georgia right now with the way Beck's playing. If Georgia Tech beats them, Boise State can beat them. But that's all the college football we have for you this week. Now over to the NFL segment.
For families who like to build their wealth while staying liquid, we have flexible rate CDs to keep your funds working hard, even when you're not. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. The right balance.
What's up, Tigers? Welcome back to the Tiger Sports Report podcast. We're here to talk some NFL with Jayden and Carson. How are you guys doing today?
pretty good, pretty good.
That's good. We're going to start off with the 49ers. Who knows what happened? I know they've been injured, but it has been bad. The chemistry's awful. There's injuries. there's just a lot going on. Noah, we're going to start off with you. What are your thoughts about them and just Shanahan handling this team?
I just don't think Shanahan's really just doing anything. He's not controlling the injuries how they should be. He's not targeting like someone like George Kittle, just having him block all the time. When George Kittle does score and gets high yardage in games, they are a contender to win that game. Every single time they need to incorporate George Kittle a lot more into these games. He's really their game winner. Someone like Deebo Samuel just is not getting it done for them.
Yeah, this generation's Lacy.
CMC being out, he was doing okay with him in, and it just sucks to see him out. He only came back for 4 games, and he's out for the rest of the season, which is unfortunate to see. If they do make the playoffs somehow, we'll probably see him in the playoffs, but even then he'll probably get injured again. Jordan Mason out on IR for 4 weeks. We're seeing Isaac Garendo in, the rookie. He's played good when Jordan Mason was out and CMC was out. I think he scored a touchdown, rushed for like 66 yards. Not too bad on 18 rushes. He should do good this game and the remaining weeks that the 49ers are playing.
Carson?
Yeah, like the 49ers, for how many weapons it looks like they have, anytime like one person gets out, they just look like they don't know what to do with
I think anytime someone gets out, team. Someone comes in, and then another person gets out, and it's just they can never have all the players.
But it's like when you have George Kittle and Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk and Christian McCaffrey, you have all these weapons, and then you have one person out. Like when Christian McCaffrey gets out, for instance, this game, it just looks like they don't know how to run their team. Like you think all the weapons, like you have so many options, you can go here, but it just looks like they don't know how to run their team anymore when one person gets injured. And I mean, they're a great team when they're all healthy. I mean, we saw it last year; they dominated the NFC, but this season it's not looking too good. I know they didn't have Christian McCaffrey basically all season, and like this game, they're not used to playing. California hasn't seen snow in however long, and they went in and played in a blizzard. So, I mean, you can't really blame it like all on the 49ers because, I mean, injuries. There's nothing you can do about an injury. If you get injured, you're just injured. Like, you can't prevent that. Also, they're not used to playing in that cold weather. So, I guess you can't really put it all in the team. It's just kind of unfortunate, the circumstances of what that game gave to them. But I'm not really too excited to watch any of the games for the rest of the season. They don't look very exciting to watch, but I mean, I guess I have to, being a Seahawks fan, just keep up with the division, I guess. But I'm not very excited to see what they do this year and then the upcoming season. Maybe they fire Shanahan. Who knows?
I don't think they'll fire Shanahan.
I don't think they'll fire Shanahan. I think if they want a chance at a Super Bowl,
he can't win Super Bowls. Yeah.
But I think I think they could fire Shanahan. I think it's like a very like unpredictable, like type of wow move. But I don't think they will. But they definitely can.
I think the 49ers, their season's over. It's very obvious. No Mason, who is also basically Christian McCaffrey 2.0 for a majority of the season. No Christian McCaffrey, PCL, and then Jordan Mason, high ankle sprain. The rookie comes in. Every time Jordan Mason's went down with Christian McCaffrey been out, he's gotten a touchdown. So he'll be half decent, I think, for most of the year. But obviously, like y'all said, Deebo Samuel's not been doing anything. You said this year's Eddie Lacy. Brandon Ayuk tore his ACL like midway through early season. George Kittle has been in and out with injuries the entire year. He's played some games really good, other games not so good.
I just don't.
His last game was the only bad game.
I don't understand. It feels like the 49ers get hurt the most in the league. Like I don't know if it's just like a power thing, like it's only their good players, but it's like it looks like the 49ers get hurt the most in the league. We saw it last season. It just looks like they can never stay healthy. It's
next down, Fred Warner. Mark my words.
Yeah, because like in the Super Bowl, Dre Greenlaw is literally so brain. He like tears his ACL. Like how does that happen?
Not even in play, running off the sidelines. It's like. You can almost.
I think something needs to go on with the strength and conditioning coach over there.
You can almost look at the training staff. Like, what are they doing? Like, they couldn't be stretching right. Maybe they're not like.
Deebo Samuel looks fat. I mean,
maybe they're not recovering. Maybe they're not doing the right recovery or whatever. You gotta do something to help these players because they're getting hurt way too often. It's ruining their team.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't really get. Even at the beginning of the season, they were healthy and they didn't look good. They're blowing leads. Ayuk, he wasn't doing a single thing.
They're like third. They're like bottom third on red zone scores. They
know.
can't do
when
anything.
Christian McCaffrey came back, they were dominating. But
McCaffrey wasn't even doing that good. I mean, they just look
doing
out of
okay.
sync.
CMC just
And
wasn't scoring touchdowns.
I personally feel like their Super Bowl window's gone for at least the
yeah.
next
Oh,
5
yeah.
years because Lions and Eagles now,
oh,
they had such good chances, and that's the only reason I believe Shanahan could be on the hot seat. You have this good of teams, and you choke away Atlanta. He was the offensive coordinator, 28-3. He was up by 10, I'm pretty sure, both times against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. You just can't have your offenses stall out like that. So I don't know. It's weird. He's not good in big games. He's a great regular season merchant, but in the playoffs, they just can't get it done. And I really don't know about McCaffrey's career looking forward because,
I think he's done.
I mean, this is kind of a serious
is
injury, and he already can't stay healthy. But, like, come on, you're like over 30 now, I think.
he's close.
Like, we all saw Gurley retire at like 29 running backs. Once you get over 30, you're slowing down, and especially for an injury-prone guy like him. Who knows if we'll ever see him again or ever see him good again. But going into the next topic, last night we had probably one of the games of the year. Noah, the Browns tortured you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Winston was out there just slinging it like nothing going on in the world.
I would rather
just-
have that than
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I've seen everyone
Deshaun
else say.
Watson.
Deshaun Watson never threw the ball deep at all. So.
But Hayden, we're going to start with you. What did you think about this amazing AFC matchup between the Browns and Broncos?
It was a pretty good game. Jerry Jeudy did his thing. He almost went for 300 yards and a
Yep.
touchdown. Bo Nix didn't look too hot, and then he started torching your defense. Javonte Williams had like 3 carries for like a yard and a touchdown. Something
He's
insane,
so
stupid
mid.
stat line.
That's like that Jerome Best stat line, like
Yes.
2 rushes for -4 yards and 3
He
touchdowns.
had, I
It's-
think it was like 4 rushes, 0 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I don't even know how
yeah,
that
it's
happened.
crazy.
But Bo Nix wasn't looking too hot, and then he turned it on. Marvin Mims, the 93-yard touchdown. That was a great pass. and a
Yeah,
great
that was
catch.
insane.
Jameis Winston was slinging the ball. He had some great passes to David Njoku. He had the good deep ball to Jerry Jeudy.
Great passes to the Broncos, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2
Say that.
amazing pick sixes at the very
I don't know.
end.
That first pick six honestly was not his fault. That tight end was not moving towards the ball whatsoever. Stood there like the ball, like not doing anything to go for it at all.
Yeah, the second one was just a game
Very
sealer at that
questionable.
point. It was a very questionable pass. Jameis Winston almost went for 500 passing yards.
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, I saw something that said, like, if he did this in, like, all 17 games, like, what his stats have been this season, he would have, like, 5,700 yards, 34 touchdowns, 24 picks. And I was
I'd
like,
rather have that.
holy
I love that
cow.
stat line. I love
Yeah.
that.
Honestly, he's probably top 5 in Cleveland Browns passing history with just that one game.
Yeah.
But the Broncos still looking good. I said that this year the Broncos would be a good team. Y'all made fun of me. Y'all like Bo Nix. What a
No,
waste
no,
of a pick.
no.
God
it
believe
wasn't
he's
about
very
Bo.
good this
It was
year.
just-
Bohemian Nix is the guy. He is that
No,
guy.
keep it bringing. Like you get to talk your smack after that.
Yeah, no. Broncos looking pretty good. They shouldn't have lost that game to the Chiefs with that voodoo magic, dog. That was insane.
That was.
But Broncos, I think, might make the playoffs this year, which will be insane for Bo Nix, the most underestimated quarterback going into this year. Most likely, everyone was talking smack on him.
I mean,
all
I've been a
year
fan of
long.
him. I really didn't know how he'd do, but Sean Payton, Bo Nix has
Payton,
grown so
yes.
much since
I
the
hate
first
Sean
few
Payton.
weeks of the season.
He's looking like an actual veteran. Like he's old enough somewhat to be kind of a veteran. He's kind of looking like it.
He looks like a veteran.
No,
Yeah,
not
he-
looks.
Anthony
Not looks,
Richardson's
sorry.
like 2
Sorry.
or 3 years younger.
Sorry, not looks. I mean his age.
Yeah,
My bad, guys. But not looks. But he again is looking.
He came
I saw this
Playing.
comparison too,
Yeah.
and they said that he looks like Zach Wilson's
He
dad.
does,
and I
he
couldn't see it.
But like I said, he's playing like a seasoned veteran.
Sure, but
I think-
Carson, your final thoughts?
I think the Broncos don't shoot the messenger. I think the Broncos are the best team in the AFC West.
So
based
you are
off
the messenger.
Pure skill, because I mean, I don't mean to hate on the Chiefs. The Chiefs aren't that good of a football
No.
team.
No, I think the
They
Browns
are-
can get it done next week.
But the
The Browns can get it
but
done.
Bryce Young should have had done,
He
but the
should've.
refs.
The Broncos
oh.
are gonna. If they see the Chiefs in the playoffs, the Broncos are gonna steamroll the Chiefs in the playoffs.
Yes.
I
think.
won't say steamroll
But
because
I don't know.
the refs,
Maybe not
but they
steamroll.
could
We also
beat them.
we also know how
Broncos-
Patrick Mahomes
Broncos
is.
by 14. That's all I gotta say.
Like
By
Aiden
14.
O'Connell outplayed Patrick Mahomes
That's what I'm
by
saying, bro.
far.
I'm saying the Chiefs are
Oh.
getting lucky, and it's not looking good for the AFC West. As a Chiefs fan, I mean,
No.
it might look good right now, being what are they 10-1,
Yeah.
9-1, 10-1, whatever they are. Going into the playoffs, I'm not too excited as a Chiefs fan. I'm more scared of the Broncos. The Broncos.
don't know. I'd
the
say
Broncos
as
I
a-
mean, you got the
are
Broncos, the
AFC
Ravens, and the
I don't know.
Steelers.
They're the-
There's
I would say
the
as
Steelers aren't
I
all
would
that.
say as a Chiefs fan, I would be more excited for the playoffs
No,
than I would.
absolutely.
Yeah,
They
no,
always play better in the playoffs.
Yes,
though.
always.
but
always.
It's not even about that. It's about like the Broncos are a very dark horse in the playoffs, and
Yes.
I think they're gonna go to the AFC Championship at least.
Divisional round at most.
Definitely not the
Diviz.
Super Bowl.
yeah, they
think,
definitely look like a very good team. And
'Cause
my
you
dad,
heard it
he
here
drafted
first.
Mahomes in the second round.
You
of
you
the
heard it here
NFC,
first.
which
I
is-
think the Broncos are wild card exits.
Wild
You heard it
card.
That's insane.
I think
Nope.
their
No.
divisional round exits.
No.
at the
Super
wild
Bowl.
card.
They
That's their,
beat the
that's
Chiefs
their
in the
floor.
Broncos country, let's ride. That's all the
Broncos
NFL
country.
news we have for you this week. Now over to March Madness, NCAA college basketball.
Recently, you've had to put your life on hold, and we're with you in this. At Ascension St. John, we're now open for appointments, and we are fully prepared for your safety and our care. As we open our doors again, our doctors, nurses, and care teams will continue to wear personal protective equipment. We've taken even more steps to clean and stringently disinfect all areas. We will maintain distancing in our waiting rooms, and will continue to limit visitors. And we will still screen all staff to protect their health and yours. Our emergency rooms are here 24/7. Please do not delay care. We're still delivering babies and performing surgeries. And we're open for your appointments, from specialists and surgical care to routine care and health screenings. Ask us about virtual visits. Ascension St. John continues to care for you, as we have been for almost a century. Thank you for trusting us.
Welcome back, Tigers, to the final segment of the Tiger Sports Report podcast. We're joined alongside Michael, Eli, Isaac. We're here to talk about some college basketball, and we're going to start off UConn. They've won back-to-back years, right? They've been very dominant as of recently, and they've already lost 3 games. They have looked very questionable, very bad. Isaac, we're just going to start off with you. Do you still think they have a shot to make a run in March Madness?
They're not even like that bad, but like because they're 5-3, they're not like too bad. But I think he should have left when he had the chance to go to the Lakers. The coach.
The coach, yeah.
Yeah, he should have left when he had the chance because they're not as good as they were last year, but they're still not even like as necessarily like, bad. But to make it to March Madness, like the finals, I don't think so.
Yeah, there's just been much better teams,
Yeah.
Eli.
Mhm.
What I saw out of Dan Hurley, the coach, was just pitiful. He's throwing temper tantrums on the sideline.
Bro, did you see
He's-
like on the Instagram, like he was like screaming like the ball boy because he got like the
Yes.
wrong like water. or
Yeah,
something
he
like that?
crashes out sometimes.
Yes,
He-
it's bad. And
Yeah.
he costed them a game with a technical foul that won the other team the game. So I think with a coach like that, you can't win a national championship because everyone has to be perfect to a T. And they have some talented players, but it's not like a roster they've had before. I think they don't really stand a chance when it comes to March Madness.
Losing 3 games this early in the season, it's not just demoralizing, but it's like very like dangerous. Like that is not good at all. And like in March Madness, if they match up against Duke, Kansas, some of those that are always consistent and have amazing coaches, they're going to get slammed. They don't stand a chance.
Yeah.
And they could really be one of those teams that get upset first round by like a team like
Right.
Furman or
Well, they
one of
might
those
be
lower
the
seeds.
lower seed
yeah,
teams
really.
at this
if they even
point,
make it,
so-
because we've seen teams like
Yeah.
Michigan State, the Blue Bloods, they don't turn out well. They end up missing it. They're not
Yeah.
scared to like remove them from the pool like college
Right.
football is sometimes with Alabama, but
Yeah.
they definitely need to kick it in. And now, while we're on the thoughts of March Madness, Michael, we're going to start with you. Who do you think's going to make the national championship, or just your two biggest contenders, you think?
Kansas, definitely.
Kansas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Isaac?
I think like the Duke Kansas game on Tuesday. That was a really good game. Like everybody's like super competitive. Like that was like a nail biter, and I think that's a preview of like what the finals is going to be like.
Yeah. I think Kansas is the obvious option because they have such a deep, great team, experienced team. But I really like Auburn. They have a guy who's just destroying with rebounding and scoring, Broom. And they have a talented freshman that could, make some magic happen when it's most needed for scoring-wise. But also a sleeper is the Sooners. They've started off really good.
They're one of the best freshmen in the nation.
Yes.
He's very, very good.
Yeah, and he's great in all aspects. They got experienced guys that got in the transfer portal. They're built for March, honestly. So they could make a run.
Jeremiah Fears, he's coming off the bench, like averaging like 20 and like 8, bro. It's
And didn't he just turn 18? It's insane.
He should be in high school right now. So
Yeah, but I like your take. The Sooners, they could definitely. The coach, I don't know if he's made a March Madness, so like Sweet 16, probably the furthest I'd say they get, but even that's very,
well,
very
I'll tell
good.
you what, he's mad about last year because they were one of the first teams
they might play
out.
pissed off, and for sure,
So that could definitely play a factor in them making a deep run.
But yeah, and then Auburn, they have a very good offense, and offense, if you have a good offense, defense, that's what cost Auburn last year. But they figure that out. I like your take. Auburn, they're a very good team.
Yeah.
Duke, very, very experienced. They know how to win in March.
Right.
And I definitely think those are the three biggest contenders right now, Duke, Kansas, and I'd say Auburn.
Right.
But that's all we have for this week of the Tiger Sports Report podcast. We will see you next time, Tigers.